Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
No, I'm kidding. That's a legend. That's like a folklore. I remember, here's a quick story. I was driving home from the beach, from the Jersey Shore, and the car broke down in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. And I was worried about the Jersey Devils showing up and eating me alive, but it never did.
Is that where your fascination of ghosts started?
Actually, the ghost came earlier. But yes, it's all part of the same weird thing.
It is spooky season, right? There we
Halloween,
go. You heard
there
the
you
music. Well, Weekend Recharge rolls on for this Sunday, the 26th day of September. A meteorologist, Molly McCollum.
And I'm, I guess, paranormal specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, and Paul Goodlow, no surprise, has a day off.
We like to call you Dr. Ghostel.
See?
Yes, there you go.
She's thinking. I love it. That's great.
Well,
about your favorite part of fall, and a huge percentage say it's the fall foliage.
But the colors of fall are actually in danger of vanishing where climate change is having a huge impact, and that is this extreme drought in the west and too much rain in the east. So joining us this morning to talk about it is Caitlin Weber, a data analyst with Climate Central. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and we want to dive right into the western states because we know that it's been extreme drought, even a mega drought for those areas, and it's having an impact on the fall foliage. How will it as we start to move forward? Bad in the central part of the United States because the drought just continuing to build in. We are going to see a little bit of rain to help with that, but what's happening in the central part of the country is something that's called a flash drought. And just like the name, you kind of relate that to flash flooding. It happens in a flash. So we've seen some very dry weather, and that's been over areas like Texas and Oklahoma. So if we back the drought monitor all the way up to June 17th, you can see not a lot of drought over Texas, a little bit of dry weather just to the south and to the southwest of Oklahoma City, maybe down towards the Lawton area. But as we stretch this into the future and we move it up until now, look at this drought building in through the summertime. And as we stop this at now, September 26th, that was the latest update with the drought monitor. Look at how it's building into these areas, especially Oklahoma over into Tulsa. That's where the drought is getting pretty bad. So when we talk about a flash drought, it's an unusually rapid onset of drought conditions. And really what happens, it's a combination of some very hot temperatures, some very dry weather. And if you think back to elementary school when you learned the water cycle, you learned about evapotranspiration. So that process that takes the water from the plants and the soil and puts it up into the atmosphere, that process is being accelerated. And so it's really drying out the soil. That's causing some big problems in areas like Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, not a lot of chances of rain over the next 5 days or so, but as we move into the weekend, that's when our next big system will start to move into areas of the central part of the United States. So that's going to stretch from Wichita all the way up into Omaha, even down into Texas, where we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain. The heavier rain will remain in the desert southwest. That's where we have our big low pressure system moving through, and actually we'll see an additional one for the later half of the week as well. So we ask you, and if things are looking hazy, that might be due to the high levels of ozone pollution. The DFW Metroplex is under an air quality alert today. And those daily chances of thunderstorms return to Dallas on Tuesday. We actually have some really hot weather in areas of Texas today. We are right back to those summertime temperatures. Oklahoma City, 92, all the way down to Dallas, where it's also going to be in the 90s. As we move a little bit to the west, the desert southwest, that's where we have a slow-moving low-pressure system, and that's bringing some moisture to areas of Arizona, eventually New Mexico by the later half of the day. This is where the rain is heaviest right now, just to the north and to the northeast of the Phoenix Metro, a little bit moving into Flagstaff as well. So if you're driving in this area today, just be really careful because flash flooding will be an issue. It's been kind of dry lately, and especially if you're near a burn scar area, that's where we could see the flash flooding problems really elevate as we get into the afternoon. So the thunderstorms possible today, that's really going to be south and to the east of Phoenix, and then stretching over the border into New Mexico. So the I-19 corridor, the I-10 corridor. Just give yourself some extra time traveling on any of those highways today. A little bit of rain moving through the Phoenix Metro for the first half of the day, then it'll dry out for the afternoon as these thunderstorms just explode across southern portions of Arizona as well as New Mexico, and some wraparound showers on the backside of that for Phoenix. But Phoenix, I think most of the day will be dry for you. Air disaster, but first, your 7-day stretch as we go into the first full week of fall and the first week of October. A lot of quiet weather to start off the week. In fact, today, most of us in the eastern half of the country are quiet. We do have a slow-moving low-pressure system working its way across the desert southwest, and because it's slow-moving, we're still going to be dealing with it on Monday and then potentially even into Tuesday, bringing some much-needed moisture to areas like Arizona and over into New Mexico. Things really heating up in the central part of the country, where Dallas skyrocketing to 91 degrees for Monday, 84 in Atlanta, temperatures building in the eastern half of the United States, even some rain building into New York by Tuesday. Those temperatures continue to climb, but here comes our next system, and that'll bring some heat relief and some more fall-like weather and some much-needed rain. Dallas, Denver, all the way up into the Dakotas. As we move into Thursday, that rain continues to expand across the central part of the country. Eventually, we will see some relief for the drought in areas like Oklahoma down into Texas, and more fall-like weather is on the way as we start off next weekend. Atlanta, only 79 by next Saturday.